used to have to visit because there was nothing here. There was nothing here.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Lending Lounge. I am here with Jasemine Craney of J&KC Life Insurance. We met about maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
In a networking group.
Core.
And you know, we've talked behind the scenes, and now she was brave enough to come on the show where everybody else has told me no.
I made it. You can do it too.
All y'all can do it. It's not as hard. Jasmine said, "What we got to do to be on the show?" I said, "Just get here." She said, "Done."
So
here we are. So Jasmine, we just gonna talk a little bit first and foremost. How did you get into Polk County?
Oh, how did I get in Polk County? So, those that know me, I am a military brat.
So am I.
Okay, cool. So I really was born overseas. I was born in Germany, but my dad's side of the family, they're from Polk County.
Okay.
And so grandma, all that good stuff, they're in Bartow. And then my mom's side of the family, they are from Florida, but they are from like Fort Pierce, Vero Beach area, all over there on that side. But Polk County, yes, that's my dad. I went to high school 1 year here in Bartow High School. Was it Yellow Jackets? Okay, yeah. So so I've been here since 12th grade. Since 12th grade. So I've been here for a little while now. Definitely been here for a little while, and I think what made me stay, because I hated Bartow growing up. I used to have to visit because there was nothing here. There was nothing here, especially when you're a military brat. Like, you see so much out there. So it's like you come here, you're like, what?
No, I understand. I grew up, again, same as you, military brat. My dad did 20-some years in the Army. The last place he got stationed from was Georgia, a little town called Hinesville, Georgia. Fort Stewart.
Okay. We sold our house, actually.
So I grew up there, and the biggest thing that we had when I was in high school was a Walmart.
Yeah, nothing. I was about to say that was a road too.
That was it. If you want to go to the mall, that was an hour and a half away. If you want to go to the movie theater, an hour and a half away. Everything was an hour and a half away.
Yes.
So I feel you. I understand it. And then the reason I'm in Polk County was because I said the minute I graduate college and I can leave, I was gone.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. That's how I got to Polk County.
And you chose Polk County out of all places.
I actually chose Orlando because I had family. But then
now that makes sense.
We couldn't find houses out there, and I ended up buying in Polk County.
Okay. Now that makes a lot of sense, because I'm telling you, if it wasn't, the only thing that's holding me here, I did find my husband. He's from Polk County. Never has been anywhere else other than things for church or work, but my husband and my church. I am so big about my church, so I love it. Wouldn't change it for the world. So that's what held me here. But I'm telling you, if it wasn't for that, after 12th grade, bye, I'm gone.
But Polk County isn't so bad now. It ain't what it used to be.
It ain't what it used to be. It's building up. Let me just say,
the third fastest growing county in the whole United States.
Yes,
that's crazy.
Yes. I have to say, Polk County has came a long way, long way.
So Jasmine, so we established how you got here, your roots here. Mm-hmm. Now, J&KC Life Insurance. How did you start that? How long have you been in business?
So that is a pandemic baby.
Baby. Okay.
I worked for the public defender's office for a little over 14 years. And when 2020 hit, I had babies that were still kind of young. So with my kids being in private school, their schedules change, and basically I needed to be in a position where I could accommodate their schedules. So I created J&KC Life Insurance Agent, hence the name J&KC are my kids' initials. So I named it after them, and it has been a blessing because it allowed me to still be able to deal with my everyday life with my kids, and actually I'm there for them a lot more. You can't ask for more with that.
No,
you know what I mean? That right there, that's big payment on its own. But then I'm able to still make the funds that I needed to make, and it only takes me 30 minutes to an hour to get what I need, each time I'm doing a sale or whatever. So I'm loving it. Of course, everything has its highs and lows. Nothing's perfect. I don't care what anybody says. Small business, we're up, we're down. But, I'm here. It's been since 2020, so we're almost in 5 years, and that's deep. For a small business, we're doing something. So I'm proud of it. And I'm glad the Lord is allowing me to stick to it. And I just don't believe it's going anywhere. We're here to stay.
Amen. Now, what do you think can you attribute to your success? Right? Because getting that 5-year mark is a big milestone. Like not too many. I think one of the stats that I last read was like 6 months to a year is the average of a small business. So to pass that and be here for 5 years, like what do you attribute to that?
Oh my gosh. But the support. If you do not have the support, and listen, don't get caught up in, well, my family doesn't support me. Don't get caught up in that. I feel like you become closer to strangers sometimes.
100%.
You know what I mean? When it comes to small business, because for one, they don't have that I'm not trying to judge you type deal, because they don't know a whole lot about you. They just know we're both in small business and we're trying to get it. That's the common goal. What can we do to help each other out? You know what I mean?
100%.
And so I feel like that's why I like CORE, or different groups that you can get into, because we're all kind of on that one goal. What can you do to kind of help each other to get going? So that was great, because you never know what somebody has that can be a help to you, right? I did have some family supporting me, so I do thank God for that. But my immediate, my husband, oh my goodness, it was many times where I just wanted to quit. And I do have a mentor. I call him my mentor. He is also the bishop of our church, but he's my mentor because he has his own business and he knows how business goes. So every time I wanted to quit, Pablo, and say, this ain't working, what was I thinking? I don't think this is it. Between those two, no, Jasmine, you can't. There's no way you can't quit. This is what happens. This is how it goes. And you get through it. Only the strong survive. You know what I mean? Yep. So even though you may have some weak moments, it's whoever finished the race. You know what I mean? So I thank God for those two. Support was just big. Yes, I could say I, went to certain things, like different vendor events, that kind of help, bring in more clients. Being on Google helps, people can find you that way. I can say all these different things that help contribute to it, but you can't even get to those things if you don't have the support to just stay in it. You know what I mean?
100%. And I think that's a big point that not too many people really talk about. The mentors is huge. It's huge. I don't know. What, you gonna shout out your mentor's name?
Yes. His name, of course. We know him as Bishop Charles Wilson. He is awesome. There's a lot of restaurants. We know Big Daddy's Barbecue. He has a daycare. Right now they have a nursing home facility.
So he's a serial entrepreneur.
He is serious. He owned 2 gas stations here in Winter Haven. So, he's making history. In Polk County, a black man on top of that, be able to get out there and to have all these different things. He's it. He knows just how it is to just have those businesses, and they go up, they go down, but hey, you know what I mean? You stick to it.
No, 100%. And I think that's one of those, like, whoever out there and you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, like, definitely you want to get somebody who can mentor you, who can talk you through. Like, even me, like, I have a mentor. Mine is Anthony Fredericks. I love you. He knows where he's at. I love him for death. He's one of the ones that when business failed, he would let me get back up. He would let me stay down. Get back up. You know what you're doing. You can make this happen. So you have to appreciate those people in your life.
You need to be able to be vulnerable with somebody.
100%.
I don't care what anybody says. I know sometimes social media makes it look like, we got it going on, but that's good to have that picture painted in a way, but you still have to be able to have somebody to be vulnerable with. I don't care It's just how it is. You got to have somebody that you can be vulnerable, and then that way you can be truthful with that person, and they can help you get back to where you need to get to.
For sure. Now we got the business. Okay. We got the mentor. What are you offering the business?
Oh, so yes, I do offer life insurance, of course. And I know a lot of times it's not cute, it's not fancy, but hey, these are the things that can stop your family from losing your home. You know, a lot of times people may lose their car, they lose their lifestyle. Once someone passes, so does that income. That income dies as well. And people don't realize the kind of hit you can take when they lose their loved one until it actually does. Now you're wishing you would have got insurance. Yep. I always tell people, if you can get it while you're young, do, because the rates are so much cheaper. You can get it $20, gets you $100,000, $200,000. You know what I mean? Just do it while you're young, and feel like it's an important thing to keep. Just because it's not a pair of shoes that you like, those Jordans, or, you're not getting your hair done, or you're not getting your nails, it's still important to have, right? So, and the other thing too is, it's not just about when you pass, it's something that can help you while you're here. Because for me, to help me start my business, I actually cashed out one of my policies. I got a policy when I was, in my young 20s. It was a whole life policy, and I was able to collect, and it helped me with my business, get started my business. So life insurance does so much. It's just people don't tap in, and I'm the type of person, I love to educate, even when you don't know the questions to ask. I like to answer those questions regardless, or tell you about it regardless. And then I also do health insurance as well. So I'm definitely your insurance girl.
So if you're looking for life insurance, or you're looking for health insurance,
yes,
Jasemine is who you need to contact. Yes. Jasemine, how do they get a hold of you?
They get a hold of me. You can go on Facebook, or you can Google me, J and KC Life Insurance, just like it is. You can also call the office line, which is 863-368-5964. I'm praying I'm saying that right. But yeah, no, seriously, 863-368-5964. And then, but yeah, Google me, message me, and then I'm available, and if I can't get to you right then, trust me, within the hour, I'll be able to get to you, and we'll get you done.
Awesome. And one last question I got for you before we wrap it up. What's one of the biggest misconceptions about life insurance?
One of the biggest
like, what's something that you like, everybody thinks it's this way, but really, like, look over here, because it's not as bad as you might think.
People just feel like it's not worth it. Honestly. I mean, I think it's because it's something that they don't, in their head, they're not seeing. A lot of people want to pay for something, yes, and they want to see it, tangible, exactly. But grown people thought, right? You got to get your grown man, thoughts on it. Yep. You have a family, you want to protect that family. And not only that, people are already grieving over you when you leave. Don't make them try to figure out how they're going to pay for, to place you in the ground, or, to have that funeral, or, you know what I mean? You see so many people with GoFundMes. So you're grieving, and now you got to go beg for money, right? No. To make sure you're taken care of at the end. That's not cool. No. That's not cool. So especially when it hits home. When it hits home, my husband lost his dad, I guess about 3 years ago now. It's not, when that hits, you want to make sure everything is taken care of, because trust me, it's not just that day. It's going to spread over time, the effect of that person passing away. So why not make sure you're good? And
if they were, like, I know this is an uncomfortable topic for a lot of families, right?
It is.
But, like, if you could say, hey, minimum, get yourself X amount for a policy, what would that amount be? Like, I know every situation is different.
Every
right?
situation
but
is different.
Something is better than nothing, right?
Something's better than nothing. If you are a person that has a lot of medical issues, that automatically puts you over into the whole life, era. And I would tell anybody, if you just can't get nothing at all, don't get no less than $2,000. You know, I mean, it's not going to get you very much, but hey, it's going to at least make sure your family's not struggling to put you in the ground. It's the bare minimum, right? But if you're, you know, if you're on the end, you don't have medical issues, you know, and it's something you can jump on the term side of things, don't get no less than $100,000 because it's so cheap. You know what I mean? It's so cheap. Don't get less than $100,000 because at least this way, it may not can pay off your house depending on when you bought the house, right? But it can at least help you for that year to pay some payments where you can adjust to that income not being there.
If at anything, even like for example, taking that same example, because I've seen it on my side, right, as a mortgage guy, at the very least, it buys them a year to sell the house, right? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
If you can't afford the house at that point anymore, at least you got a year now to comfortably get rid of it, sell it, do what you got to do.
Exactly, because you know, even in that, if you don't sell that house within a month or two, at least you have time to pay that payment. Or if you're stepping out of that house to get it cleaned up, if you need to put things into storage, that's giving you funds to do just that, you know. But again, to sell it comfortably. So insurance, it does a lot for you. You know what I mean? It does a lot for you. So hey, I would get it.
So all you guys that need or have any questions, Jasemine is who you need to call.
Yes.
Give Jasemine Craney a call. Look up JNKC Life Insurance.
Life Insurance Agency.
Look them up. Call her. Do everything you need.
Yes.
Get some questions going. Get a conversation started. It doesn't have to be necessarily about selling. Like she said, she's willing to educate you, so it costs nothing to educate. Give her a shot.
Yes. Call me.
Jasemine, it's a pleasure. I appreciate you coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right.